Hello, my name is David. A little bit about me. I come from a family that has like a high RH negative blood and a DNA that links to Akhenaten and even the kings of Israel. But I'm no more special than anybody else. My life is not in order, but I've always been connected to the source since I was a kid, and even like in my 30s, I was super connected. Had awakening, visions, dreams. I still have dreams and visions, and they're basically about the same subject. That's why I want to speak to you today. Um, the other night, I had a dream, and I've had this similar dream over and over again, just like another one, but that one's a little weird. I don't want to get into that. But I was out working in the garden outside, and I was standing, and I got up and stood for some reason. I just felt weird. And I'm sitting still, and all of a sudden, I hear this harmonic like you were having a singing bowl and you were rolling it around there, but it was really, really strong. I mean, so strong that it made me sick to my stomach in my dream, like I was about to vomit and paralyzed. And then the ground started shaking intensely, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And the weather was acting really weird. Wind, um, and then I didn't see it happen, but I kind of knew what happened. The ocean on the coast had went back. It drew way back, probably to the equator, and then it came back with such force. I mean, it piled up like a mountain, and came back with such force that the wind in front of it blew everything down. And even in my dream, I was blown down, and the water came after that, and it just wiped everything out. The destruction was terrible. But what I'm saying is, I've had this dream over and over again, and I had another one where I was in some place and there was people in rows lined up, similar, and there's destruction outside, but the winds were held calm in this certain area, and it was where the Native Americans of the South go. So we had tribes of every people, and they were lined up, and they were being taken away by a beam of light. But the one particular dream I was mentioning in the beginning, I've had many times, and I've had the other one many times, but the most recent one was the previous one about the being outside standing and working in the garden. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I've read several books, and even in the Bible it talks about the sun stood still for a day, and talks about the destroyer, talks about a body being outside our system when it comes in, and it takes the earth and flips the poles. Where our magnetic poles are moving now, they've found in the geological record several pole shifts, a lot of radiation embedded in the rocks, dust, superheating on the moon, glass. A lot of things have happened, and the calculation that I had worked out from this one book says 100 generations will move into the west. It is it's the 2,700 years from my understanding. I mean, 25 years. I never knew 25 years as a generation. I thought it was 100 years. So I had to do some schooling. Excuse my hair. I'm having a bad hair day. I don't really care too much. I just wanted to get the message out. And from the time of the last passing, according to the Colburn, which is just a compilation of books from Egypt, from the Library of Alexandria, and the Bible, and different sources. Everybody says 3,600 years, but I believe they're wrong. I believe it's 2,700 years. And on 2001, there was a marker, so it would be 20 years from Jacob's trouble, the guy I was talking about in this video. So 20 years from Jacob's trouble to the year 2021 is 20 years. In my scrying, in my pendulum, it basically says that if nobody has their stuff together and a house in order by December, the solstice, the winter solstice, that they're going to be in big trouble, because that's when it all starts to happen and it goes into Pasha. So events are going to start getting very violent around December 2021. I mean December 2020. These are my calculations, and the guy says Pasha of 2021 Passover, and everything's kind of adding up, and I believe this is going to happen. I'm no good at these videos. I'm not making any money from them. I mean, look, I'm not even set up as a studio. I mean, it's just an old office here. It was my dad's home. I'm trying to multi-purpose with this place, but I don't even know how to put a background in a video to make it better. But what I'm trying to do is to get the word out to people, because there's a lot of good people like John Hogue telling he does astrology, but I don't know if he does this. I forget the guy's name that I had watched this video on. I could look it up for you guys right now. It's called Gil Broussard. And you can go to Planet 7X TV. Now, I don't even have good evidence it's the planet. Nicole Burnett says it's not a star and it's not a comet, but it's a ball of fire, like a dragon's tail. And there's several prophecies I can read off to you. These are the prophecies of Merlin. And I bought this book because I have dragon blood, I believe, and I've done DNA testing. And these are the closest. I mean, everything's all spread out all over the place. You got to have a sense for what you're getting. And I've been very lucky and blessed and led by, I guess, the spirit within to be able to find these things. And all of them are telling me the same exact thing, that something's happening. And I'll read some of these prophecies off to you. I don't know about you, but a lot of us know that the city of London has basically enslaved the world. I call them dark Nephilim. I don't know. But it's the banking. But if you can get in here, in the shadow of London, see, I haven't been sleeping very well. I've been tired. I took care of my dad for 2 years. I'm wore out. I'm trying to get my strength back. Still having trouble sleeping. We don't have really good sleeping arrangements here, because when we got here, things were a mess, and we did our best to take care of things. And there was a lot of family trouble over things. There shouldn't have been, but there's problems on both sides. I'm not going to say it's all one side. Anyways, let's not go into that. I'm going to get into these prophecies with you, and these are just some of them selected out of the, it's called the Prophecies of Merlin, or Selected Triads. So I'll read them for you, and and they collaborate with prophecies in the Bible, and they're just really deep here. But prophecies and Revelations, and Jeremiah and Daniel, and the Colburn, the book of the dark days, and the first and second and third books of the Destroyer. These are from the Bronze Book, from Egypt. They were taken after the last passing of the passing of the Destroyer, when the the Passover happened and the Exodus. That wasn't the last time it came by, though. It came by another time after that. And the next one is coming soon. And it's going to be worse than all those. Probably as bad or close to as bad as the second creation. And that's in the Colburn too. I mean, the earth was turned into a molten heap. But people still survived. They came out of the ground. And see, this puts so much pressure on the earth that it makes fissures. The heat from within melts the surface, and the heat from without. I don't even know if our race will survive. Well, I don't really consider myself, I never have, human. I would say what it is, but you guys would probably freak out, especially Christians. And you know, you don't even know me. I'm a good guy. I got problems just like anybody else, but I have love. But you know, the Vatican made it illegal to be what I am, and some of us slipped through the cracks, and came into America. And I don't like civilization. I don't like human civilization very well. I stay away from it. I try to stay out of it. I tried to be a part of it years ago and it just didn't work out. I didn't like it. And nobody lives by the Grail Code. Nobody lives by the Golden Rule. And I see it everywhere, even within my own home, and I don't like it. Anyways, here we go. About the city of London. In the shadow of London shall a serpent emerge, which shall be the annihilation of mankind. So this serpent would probably be Dark Nephilim, and America would be the shadow of London, I would believe. Because all that corporation stuff came over here. It was supposed to be the land of the free, and they didn't like that, so they took it down. Anyways, I'll put this right here. A worm with fire for breath shall incinerate the trees. From the vapor and smoke comes 7 lions with heads of a goat. See the 7? You can go in the Bible, 7 stars and all that in Revelations. Anyways, the worm is this thing, and it's also a dragon. It's got a tail on it. It's called the Destroyer. It's called Nibiru. It's got many, many names. I don't know if it's a planet or could be a lot of people are saying it's a dark star, and they found a dark black hole, a small one. Well, they're talking about it, that could be what's perturbing the orbits in the solar system, because something is perturbing things. And also there is heating. If you can look up on space.com and other things, that Mars is warming up too, just like the Earth. So this global warming is all bullshit. It's not from humans. It is from the outside influences, from our galactic equator, the debris field we're going through now. The sun is through the galactic arm of Sagittarius, and or is it Orion? I think it's Orion. We came out of Sagittarius. We're going to Orion. But Mars is heating up. There's like crazy storms going on Jupiter. Hexagrams coming, showing, and just a lot of stuff. Okay. Another triad. A knight in armor comes forth, flying on the the back of a dragon. Excuse me. He holds the body and tail of the dragon in his hands. That's another astronomical prophecy. It talks about a dragon. This thing is known as a dragon. I'll get the Colburn out in a minute and I'll show it to you. I'll read it to you. The stars are confounded, turning their eyes from the earth, destined to follow new courses. This is talking about the planets. They lose their orbital stability and fly off because an outside influence penetrates our solar system, at least our galactic plane, and causes havoc. Crops will wither and die as no precipitation comes from the heavens to nourish them. This is preceding it coming in the next few months, and probably after it leaves. It makes a mess out of things. Roots and branches shall instantly change places as the light of the sun is occulted by Mercury. And the helm of Mars calls to Venus. So, Mercury is occulted. It occults the sun. The light isn't shining no more. Mercury might have exploded. We don't know. Mars calls to Venus. So the helm is the orbit. And it goes towards Venus. Okay, Mars causes a shadow to fall, and the range of Mercury moves beyond its natural orbit. And then Orion unsheaths its sword. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to Orion, but in the news, Betelgeuse or Betelgeuse or whatever has been dimming, and they believe it either micronova or it's already supernova. They're thinking of micronova because there's really no sign that the whole thing exploded, but it takes years for it to get here, so we're not seeing everything. The light. Okay, Phobos, or Phobos, I think is Phobos. Perturbs the clouds. So Phobos might be ejected from Mars. Jupiter and Venus move beyond the range of their natural orbits. So you can already see there's a disarray, according to this prophecy, in the solar system. All these are leading up to it, which can only be caused by either the sun micronovaing, which people are thinking is going to happen, especially a few scientists in the field or physicists in the field of electric universe. Okay, now this one's kind of scary, but you know we're beings of light inside bodies, so all we got to worry about is the judgment. The sickle of Saturn sweeps away mankind, and the houses of the zodiac weep for the visions of its rage. So these are up for interpretation. I only see them how I see them. Let me set this one aside. It's another book. I just love this book so much. It's a spiritual knowledge. The prophecy helps me. You know, it helps improve my understanding of things and the things I've been working on for years, which is what I've been saying. Dreams and visions. And my spiritual self. I also work on my DNA because my family's really tied to Glastonbury, Albany, and or Glastonbury Abbey in England, and also Scotland. So I have a really strong Celtic dragon connection, especially to the Egyptian ways. I like Israel. I like Egypt. I like all. To me, it's all knowledge. People like say, "Oh, Egypt's bad. Atlantis is bad." There were people that kept society in order for many, many years. They're not the ones running things now. They're disorder. If you think our society's ordered and what it's done to the planet is disgusting, what the rich have been allowed to do, and then pass blame to the poor. Everybody's responsible for what happened. The poor should have rose up a long time ago and straightened out the problem. You don't destroy your planet. It's your mother. And you love one another. Community. Okay. I'm going to read this to you. Men, forget the dark days of the destroyer. Only the wise know where it went and that it will return in its appointed hour. It raged across the heavens in the days of wrath. This was its likeness. It was a billowing cloud of smoke, enwrapped in a ruddy glow, not distinguishable in joint or limb. Its mouth was an abyss, from which came flame, smoke, and hot cinders. When the ages pass, certain laws operate upon the stars in the heavens. Their ways change. There is movement and restlessness. They are no longer constant, and a great light appears readily in the skies. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I am not set up to do a video. I don't have a studio or anything. It's just everything's kind of close together in my home. Anyways, let's get back to this reading the book 1 of The Destroyer. When blood drops upon the earth, the destroyer will appear, and the mountains will open up and belch forth fire and ashes. Trees will be destroyed, and all living things engulfed. Water will be swallowed up by the land, and the seas will boil. The heavens will burn brightly and redly. There will be a copper hue over the face of the land, followed by a day of darkness. A new moon will appear and break up and fall. People will scatter in madness. They will hear the trumpet and the battle cry of the destroyer, and will seek refuge within dens of the earth. Terror will eat away their hearts, and their courage will flow from them like water from a broken pitcher. They will be eaten up in the flames of wrath and consumed by the breath of the destroyer. Thus it was the days of heavenly wrath which have gone, and thus it will begin in the days of doom. When it comes again, the times of its coming and going are known unto the wise. These are the signs and the times which shall precede the destroyer's return. 110 generations shall pass into the west, and generations will rise and fall. This is 2,700 years, according to a 25-year generation. Men will fly in the air as birds, and swim in the seas as fishes. Men will talk peace with one another. Hypocrisy and deceit will have their day. Women will be as men, and men as women. Passion will be a plaything of men. A nation of soothsayers shall rise and fall, and their tongue shall be the speech learned. A nation of lawgivers shall rule the earth and pass away into nothingness. One warship will pass to the four quarters of the earth, talking peace and bringing war. This is Christianity. A nation of seas. The seas will be greater than any other, but will be as an apple rotten at the core, and will not endure. This is the United States. A nation of traitors will destroy men with wonders, and it shall have its day. This is your commerce law. Then shall the high strive with the low, the north with the south, the east with the west, and the light with the darkness. Men shall be divided by their races, and the children will be born as strangers among them. This sounds like our times. Brothers shall strive with brother, and husband with wife. Father will no longer instruct their sons, and the sons will be wayward. Women will become a common property of men, and will no longer be held in regard and respect. Sounds like our times. Matter of fact, it is our times. Then when men will be ill at ease, and their hearts they will seek, they know not what, and uncertainty and doubt will trouble them. They will possess great riches, but be poor in spirit. Then will the heavens tremble and the earth move. Men will quake in fear, and while terror walks with them, the heralds of doom will appear. They will come softly as thieves to the tombs. Men will not know them for what they are. Men will be deceived. The hour of the destroyer is at hand. In those days men will have the great book before them. Wisdom will be revealed. The few will be gathered for the stand. It is the hour of trial. The dauntless ones will survive. The stout-hearted will not go down to destruction. Great God of all ages, alike to all, who sets the trials of man, be merciful to our children in the days of doom. Man must suffer to be great, but hasten not his progress unduly in the great winnowing. Be not too harsh on the lesser ones among men. Even the sons of a thief has become your scribe. this book right here means a lot to me because, you know, we all know about the Library of Alexandria. This was a book held in there. It was written before or after the exodus of Israel by the Egyptians. As a matter of fact, the next three paragraphs or chapters actually are dedicated to the Egyptian side of the Exodus. And you know how everybody says Egypt's bad. It's not true. But I know one thing, that well, I have two sides of that story, so I'm not going to say anything bad, but they were slaves. I was thinking of reading another one to you, but I got to hurry up and get off here because my wife wants to cook and I don't want to make any noise, or her, you know, noise coming through here. But I'll read the next paragraphs to you guys, or chapters to you another time. I wanted to thank you for listening. Please, I'm not trying to get famous or anything. I'm trying to help others. Maybe I'm not supposed to, but it's in my heart to do it, so I'm going to follow what's in here. I'm not going to be a loudmouth. I'm not screaming and crying in the wilderness. I'm just putting information out to help those who could benefit from it. And those who have good hearts, stout hearts, who love one another and want to gather for the stand, I'm totally out there to help you or to gather, you know. I'm gathering a few friends myself because I know what has to be done. And if I don't make it through it and they don't make it through it, at least we did what our spirits told us to do. Anyways, be safe. I'm going to give you a couple places to watch. Conscious Observer. He tracks the sun. He says something's coming. His channel. And I'm going to mention Planet X or Planet 7X. He's not really calling it debris or anything. He just says something's coming. And then Leap Project. Guy's a little off sometimes, but I like his stuff. He puts out some good stuff. And then the Electric Universe Theory. Check that out. Because astrology isn't all, or astronomy isn't all there. It's partly there. It's not just gravity. It's electric. The universe is. Anyways, many blessings to you and be safe. And I share this with love of the Creator to all, even those who are of the highborn. Blessings. And the lowborn. I call them Yoslings. Or Neanderthal. No, I don't. It's okay. Anyways, peace to all of you.